Today we're talking about Lesson 79, Writing Equivalent Decimal Numbers. And today's lesson says that we can add decimal places to a number without changing the value by adding zeros to the right of the last decimal place. The way I explain it is if 0 is your last decimal place, it does not change your value. So these first two examples, you can see they're the same thing because it's the exact same number written. But these would still be true if I were to add 0 here, or if I were to add a 0 here. That doesn't change the value of the number. Look at this third example right here. I've got 1/10 and 10/100ths. All right, so these values are the same because the rule says if 0 is my last decimal place, I can add as many zeros to the end as I want, as long as it's the very last number and it doesn't change the value of my decimal. Similar to how when we work with money problems, we always want to have two decimal places. This has one decimal place, one number behind my decimal. This has two decimal places, two numbers behind my decimal. Because when we write cents, we always write two decimal places. All right, so to help illustrate this, let's look at some examples. This first example shows you that it can't just be adding zeros wherever we want inside a number. It has to be at the end. The 0 has to be the last number. So I've got the same tens place and the same ones place, but my tenths place is different. This is a 0, this is a 1. So as we learned, comparing decimals, my first number is less than this number because the tenths place is different and 0 is less than 1. Let's look at our second example. Okay, same tens place, same ones place, same tenths place, and a same hundredths place. The difference is this one has two zeros as the last, and this one only has 1 0 as the last number. The rule today says I can keep adding zeros to help me compare better or to compare in an easier way. So these two numbers are equal because adding a 0 to the end doesn't change the value. All right, this last example is kind of an exaggeration, but it's going to help illustrate our point. It doesn't matter how many zeros are at the end, as long as it's my last number, it will be the same. So 12.50000, this is the same because as long as the zeros are my last numbers, it doesn't matter how many there are. If it's 5 or 0, this will be the same. These two numbers are equal.